What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guardians of all ages? Joker back again, once again. And what's this? Bungie lied to the player base? That's never happened before. Cough. Skill-based matchmaking in Destiny 1, cough. Oh, they lied about the way EXP works in the game and throttled it so you couldn't get cash shop loot boxes faster? Let me get this right. Let me make sure I understand the facets of this argument and sudden pandemonium of moral outrage. And I do say this with all the delightful and well-earned smugness I can muster. You're telling me that the company that engages in the scummy psychological manipulation of its player base with a gambling slot machine simulator in order to ensure that the more impulsive of the community spends heaps of money on cosmetic items they don't need, has also employed a sleazy EXP throttling system in order to decrease the amount of free loot boxes you can earn in order to incentivize buying them? In a franchise whose primary mechanic is based around the addictive nature of RNG loot and the want to grind for it, so its player base would be more psychologically vulnerable to this sort of manipulation, and Bungie and Activision took full advantage of that conditioning? Gasp. Shock. Horror. Who could have possibly have seen this coming? Oh wait, there was that one jackass. What was his name again? Oh right, that was me. I guess we'll have to wait and see if there's any EXP scaling at work here once the game comes out, because if we get to level 20 where we start earning these Eververse engrams and it takes forever to get one to incentivize buying them, then what's the point of getting the free ones if it takes forever to level up to get them? Well, that comment aged well. Looks like those chickens have come home to roost. It's funny. Very, very funny how ahead of the curve I tend to be. I was calling this out months ago and getting told,
"But Joker, it's not pay to win. It'll be completely okay because it's cosmetic."
That I was just being outraged to be outraged. But now it's the cool thing to bitch about predatory microtransaction practices, so I guess I just best make room for the late to the fucking party moral outrage brigade. I guess better late than never. How far we have fucking come. And before I get those loot box apologists saying,
but Joker, games are so expensive to make and they need microtransactions to support them.
Okay, you want to argue that? I will give you everything your argument supposes and ask, why does it have to be in the form of predatory loot boxes? Instead of, I don't know, look at games like, Titanfall 2 or Warframe, where, get this, if I want something, I just go and fucking buy it. No muss, no fuss, no bullshit. Oh, do they try to incentivize buying things with 50% discounts in the store when you log in, or doing things like, hey, if you buy 3 of these weapon skins, you get more EXP? Absolutely. But you get what's on the fucking package. It's not this insidious scheme to make you spend more money. It's just a buy 2 get 1 free coupon. It's just clever marketing. If it was up to moi, there would be no predatory loot boxes. You'd buy exactly what you wanted. I want this weapon skin. It's $1.99 or $4.99 for 3. Now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, I haven't come here today to stroke my long, hard ego, as entertaining as that might be. I wanted to research a question. Has Bungie done anything illegal? I've seen this pop up here and there and everywhere, and it is an interesting and fascinating question, but one with a unsatisfactory answer. This question revolves around the EXP boosters. The first example, and likely the most common, is people buying the bright engrams, dismantling their contents, and using the dust to buy EXP boosters. Since the EXP boosters are advertised to do one thing, and the game is advertising that the EXP you gain is another thing, when in reality, it's something completely different, is there a legal case there? Unfortunately, no. It doesn't matter what you intended to do when you bought those bright engrams. You paid for silver, you got silver. You used the silver to buy the engram, and you got the engram. So you got what you paid for, twice. It doesn't matter what your intention was. Okay, But what about the Pop-Tarts? You bought Pop-Tarts thinking you'd earn X amount of EXP based on what was displayed in-game and the multiplier the booster gave you for the time allotted by the booster. Well, once again, the answer seems to be no. Not only is there a degree of complexity and separation between Bungie and Pop-Tarts and Activision and this marketing deal, but the second you boot up Destiny 2 for the first time or after any major update, you agree that Bungie can change anything in the game at any time for any reason. The terms of service is so thick, you can hide bodies in it. This is why you can't sue them for nerfing your favorite weapons into the ground or removing features that you paid for in a DLC or the base game. In fact, it doesn't seem like there's anything that can be done except bitching, which only works as long as the developer cares. And as we've seen with the Season 2 panel, Bungie is vastly more interested in placing cosmetic rewards behind loot boxes than they are placing them in the game for you to earn, like we could do in Destiny 1. The one thing the Destiny community has on their side is an already lackluster reception to the Curse of Osiris. This EXP throttling issue will likely harm the sales of that DLC, so there's a win for us. That said, all this bitching will likely result in is a rebalancing of the EXP system that puts us somewhere in the middle of where we were and where they want us to be. Since they have an average on how long it took players to gain these loot boxes and can simulate that. Sure, you'll have your overachievers, but that's an edge case, not an average. At the end of the day, what really needs to happen is these loot boxes need to go. You want to sell things? You want to make money after you sell the game, after you sell the DLC, because it's free money and you'd be crazy to leave it on the table? Fine. Let us buy what we want. Let us buy what we want, when we want, at our leisure. And if we have to have these RNG loot boxes, it's as a free level up reward that offers cash shop items. But it is in no way, shape, or form the way that we interact and purchase items from the cash shop. It's worked well for Warframe, it worked well for Titanfall 2, and I'm absolutely, positively sure Destiny will somehow manage to survive if you let us buy what we want, when we want, to avoid things like this. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, guardians of all ages, those are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below, and like always, stay frosty.